All right, this is For What It's Worth by Buffalo Springfield. We're going to have a harmonic to start. So we have the 12th fret of the smallest string harmonic. And if you haven't done harmonics before, you want to just touch the string. Don't press down like we're making a note. Just put your finger right above the actual fret itself. And you'll get that harmonic overtone there. We go 12th fret to 7th fret. And try to get those to ring out nicely. Okay, so that's the thing that happens a lot kind of in the background of the tune. Now we're going to have an E major to start and an A. Okay, now one little easy thing you could do in there, you can go. So that's an open to 2 on the 2nd string into the little string open. So I hit the E, and I did the little riff, and then I hit the A. And see, with that A, you can kind of use that same finger you're doing the chord with. So there's kind of a cooler way you can do it with more of a bassy kind of a riff thing. We got. Okay, so that starts with the big 2, and then take your ring finger on the G string, slide this 4 to 6, kind of quick, into that 5 on the 2nd string. Slide it down and go to the A. So that was your chord change there. So it's like E, A, same riff to the E. Okay, so I'll do that one more time, nice and slow. So we got. And then we're going to get into the chorus, because that's going to go like 4 times for a verse. We're going to have. Okay, that's our little chorus. Stop, people, what's that sound? All that. So we got 2 E's. And then we have a D with a little open on the bottom. So D, sus2. We're going to go jang, jang, jang. So it's like, stop, people, what's that sound? Now this is the A, the 2's from an A. To that sus and back, that's a little 3rd fret of the 2nd string. And then we're gonna go, because they bring in a C note in there into the kind of vocal harmony there, so we're gonna add that to our chord to give us a little something special here. So big 2 with the 5 right there. 3 strums at the end. So once again, chorus, we got. Back to the E to A. Okay, and then it's the same type of stuff. You got your verse with that riff. And you're doing your E to A chords and stuff. And then we get into the chorus again. Okay, so we have the first E chord. So we have open to 2 on the B string, little 4, and then 2 open on the little one to 3 on the 2nd. So, and then 2 O, 2 O, kind of a little bends here. Kind of pull off there. Do that thing twice more. 2 to little open, and then we got a little slide into this 5. Little bluesy little stuff there, and then we got. Same thing, 2 more riffs of this. 2 O, and then kind of bend that 2 a little bit that time. Okay, so let's go through all that again. We got. Okay, and then we got another verse. Now this one kind of switches up a little bit. It's kind of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Little 2 open on the 2nd string. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 2 open. right, and then on this chorus, we have those same types of fills. We got the... Now we just have kind of a different solo going on. So we're going to slide into this 5, 3, 5, kind of a bend. Got another one, and we got a 3, and then we got a pull off to that lower 5. So it's like a... Back to the 3, 5. 3, 5, 3 there to that 4, and then we're back into another verse. Now this one has little fills, little bends and a pull off on that G string 2nd fret thing, and then after that we have like a kind of a hammer into that big 2 a couple times. Hold that, and then we're gonna get into the more into those kind of riffs and stuff right there. Then we get into our last chorus. We basically have those same types of fills, like gets into like 3 repeats of that. Okay, and it kind of fades out on that E to A type thing. So let's take a look at what we got. We had those harmonics. Okay, so you can practice that a lot. That's a fun one, just play along with the record with that. Okay, then we have our E to A as our basic chords. We had a simplified version of with that little open to 2 in the 2nd string, hammer on into the little open bottom string there, so. And then the A. Or we had the more difficult riff, which is a little trickier, a lot cooler. Okay, we had that. Our first chorus was... Okay, and then we're back into the E to A stuff. Then we had... Second chorus had the fills. Okay, so that's basically all your good stuff. You can jam around a little bit with the blues and stuff. You got your E minor pentatonic scale we use for the blues things. Try some little bends and kind of cop the feel how they were doing on that. Okay, so for what it's worth, Buffalo Springfield. This will have a tab with it. Hope you all dig it. Talk to you soon. Thanks a lot. All right, this is going to be Proud Mary by Creedence Clearwater Revival. We're going to start it with a C chord. We're going to go C, 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 A, and then A, A, G. So we got C, 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 A, A, G, C, 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 A. Okay, so that's our whole riff there in the intro. We got C, 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 A, G. And when you hit the G, you're kind of trying not to hit that bottom one, try to mute that one. So we got C, 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 A, G. We're gonna do that twice. Now the third time, C, 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 A, G, F. So let's try that. C, 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 A, G, F. And then F, F. Put the pinky in on the 3rd fret. That's a F6. So F, F, F6, back to F, to D. So we got. Okay, and then we start a new groove on the D. So let's go through all that intro again. C, 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 A, G. Do that twice. 2, 3, and. Now we have our new groove in D. We have bum bum da dum dum da dum dum da dum dum dum. So that is what I'm calling one long D section. It's like a couple bars, but it's like one long D section. It's gonna make it a little easier to read the chart if we just look at it like that. So one whole section of this. Bum 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 bum. That's like one long D. Okay, so we're gonna do 4 long Ds for the verse. 2, 3, 4. Here's the second one. Third one. cool little fill in there. So we go B minor. So when we start the second kind of measure of that, bum, 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 bum. So we have middle finger on this 4 and the G string, and then 3 and 5 on the second string, and then we're gonna go bottom 2 strings, 7s, 5s, and 7s. So it's, okay, so let's look at that whole, from the A part of the verse, 3, 4. B minor. And then D. We got 2 sets of D. And then we start the next verse. So we got 4 long Ds again. 3, 4. Second one. Third one. Fourth one. Going to A. B minor, that fill, D, okay, so we have this cool riff here. We're going to slide into these 7s from the 5s, or you could just start on the 7s. So if you want to play that as like a chord, you have to mute the other strings around that, right? So we got, so I'm definitely muting that one in between to help me kind of strum them all at the same time. So we got 7s, 7, 5, and then 4 and 3, back to the 5s and back. So, okay, nice and slow in that riff. 3, 4. So it's right after the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, then we'll be back into the intro riffs. We have 1 long D there, and then we're gonna have a solo over this D. So it's those 4 long ones on the D again. We'll get into A, B minor, back to D. Okay, so we have a solo there. We could go. So we get into this 4 here, slide into that with the ring, and we're gonna go 2, 4 to that 2 and 3 chord right there, part of a D. So we got 3, 4. And then we're going to jump up here and think about this D chord on the 7s here. We're going to get into this kind of Rolling Stones looking shape here. We got a 9 on the big one, 8 on the second. So we have. Okay, so once again we got. Da dee da dee da dee da dee da dee da. So we do that a bit. We have a lot of those back and forths. Kind of do whatever you want. Kind of listen to it a little bit, you know. But then we're going to have this slide, little cool riff. So we're going to slide into this. That's a 11 and 10. So we're going to slide into the 11 and 10 and get that 9 and 8 to the 7s. Kind of have this 9 up here. So. Okay, so it's dum da dum dee da doo dee, and then back here. This one kind of does less of those back and forths. And then we have a little riff at the end. So kind of a O to 2, 2 to 4, 2 here, 2 to 3, 2 O 2. So. And then kind of the same rhythm of that, 2 to 4. So was 2 to 4, 4 to 6, 7, 5 in the second, 7, 6, 7. So. Then we're back into our strum. We got our riff, intro. Okay, then we got another verse, does the same type of stuff. So you end up doing that riff at the end of all these sets of Ds. Okay, that's about it. Okay, let's go over our intro again. The C, 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 A, 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 G, 2, 3, and. Okay, and our solo was. All right, Proud Mary, CCR. Thanks a lot for watching. There'll be a tab with this. Talk to y'all soon. All right, here's another lesson by request. This is Helplessly Hoping by Crosby, Stills, and Nash. We're going to start out with an A minor chord. We're going to have a little finger picking thing. We're going to go. Okay, so it's a little pattern. I had to kind of rearrange this to fit on this instrument. This is an A minor 7 chord on the guitar. We're going to do an A minor on this because A minor 7 is C, and that's what we're going to next. So we're going to have to switch it around just a little bit, make it a little bit different. So we're going to have the 4th string and the 2nd string at the same time with that A minor chord. So we're going to hit that one, and then we're going to go 2, 2 on the big string, the 4th string, and the 3rd. And then we're going to go 4th string, little string, open. So let's look at that. We got 2 and 1, then 2, 2, 2, open, and then 2, 2 again. That's our first measure. So we got. Okay, that's our first measure. Let's try it. 2, 3, 4. So that's 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. Now we're going to second time, we're going to do the 4th string and the 2nd string. We're going to hammer on open to 1. On the 2nd string. As we hit that bass note, we're going to hammer onto that 1st fret of the 2nd string. So we got, and then we have the same picking pattern that we had in the rest of the first measure. So hammer on. Okay, and then we're going to go to C, 2, 0, 1, 0. So the same picking pattern, even though we just changed one note, it really changes the feel of that chord. That's why I kind of rearranged it this way. So we got that C, that open string on the G string lets you know you're on a different chord than that first one. So we're going to do this twice. Now we're going to go top 3 strings open. That's part of a G chord. We're going to go opens. And then we're going to hammer into the 2 and the 1 from a C chord. And then we're going to go big string, open, little string 3, and then 2 to open on the 4th and 3rd strings there. So opens, hammer, D string, little string, 2 open on the D and G string there. We're going to do that twice. Okay, Okay, so it's a little tricky. Let's take it nice and slow. 3, 4. Okay, now we're going to go to a D chord. We're going to hit the 4th string and the 1st string at the same time. And then the whole D chord, and then 4th string, open on the 1st string, and then the 2 on the 3rd and 3 on the 2nd. So it ends with. So we got. Now we're going to hammer the small string as we hit the bass note. Chord again. Same notes with the open on the bottom. Open, open, 2, 3. So from this D again, we got. Okay, and that's our first main part of the song. So we're going to have, for the top again, we got. Okay, back to the beginning. So let's look at that real slow one more time. So we got the 2 and the 1. Now this time we hammer. Now we're going C chord. Do that twice. We got those opens for the G, hammer. D. Okay, so once you get into the swing of it, you're like. Now, after you get through the first one for the intro, you don't have to hammer that one all the time. That's kind of just in the first one. Now here we're going to have a little walking note to get into the C. We're going to walk this to this B note, open 2nd string. So we'd have A minor. Say we don't do it that time. Now instead of the last 2-2 at the end of that, I'm just going to hit this open 2nd string. And then it feels like we're walking into the C. So it has a walking bass effect that way. Okay, so that happens a lot of times. Then we're going to get into a little thing that just does A minor for one measure instead of 2, and then C, and then G. So we're going to go A minor, C, and then we'll do that double G thing. And our regular D. Okay, so those are normally 2 measures of A minor, 2 measures of C, 2 measures of G, 2 measures of D. But when we get into kind of the little turnaround thing at the end of this, the verse part, we're going to get into just an A minor for 1 measure, C for 1, and then the G for 2, and the D for 2. Okay, and then you're back into verses. Get into the last one, we're going to go into a change here. We're going to have the A minor, C. You can kind of strum these. G sus has the 1 on the 2nd string. So it's 1 measure each of these. We go back and forth 4 times. Now in this 5th one, we're going to go G to the F chord. And we have a new thing. Okay, and this is an approximation, as you have to do on this instrument a lot because we're missing some of those bass notes. But we have open on the 4th string, 1st fret, 2nd string, and we're going to kind of just alternate with the 3rd string and the 4th string as our bass notes there. So it's 01, 01, 01, 01. We do that twice. And then we're going to end that with. So that was big one. And then hammer onto the 2 and 1. Twice. To the opens, to the little 3. And then we back to a verse. Okay, and eventually you'd be back to A minor, C, G, G sus. Four times. Last time you got G to F. Then you got that C with the D bass, I'm calling this little part. And then the end is. All right, Helplessly Hoping. Thanks for the request. I know it's been a while. Crosby, Stills, Nash, great stuff. Cool finger picking. Rearranged a little bit for the Baritone Ukulele. So thanks a lot for watching, y'all. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know if you have any requests. We'll talk to you soon. All right, this lesson is on White Rabbit by Jefferson Airplane. You got Jorma Kaukonen on guitar in this one. So it starts out with a little bass thing, and it's just a bass note, a couple bass notes, but we're going to start out with that same chord kind of thing that goes along with it later in the song. So we have an F sharp chord, 4, 3, 2, 2. We're going to go. Okay, so that's kind of a main little vamp of the tune. So it's going to go 1, 2, a 3, and. So it's 2 downbeats, 1, 2. Now think about 16th notes of that second beat. If we had 1, 2, E, and a, that would be 16th notes. So what we're doing is we're only hitting the 4th of that. So it's like 1, E, and a. So we wait a long time and hit that upbeat on the which would be the 4th of those 16th notes. So it's like 1, 2, E, and a. So. And then as soon as we hit that up, we're gonna go up, down, down. So that's like 3 and. So we got 1, 2, a 3 and we don't play the 4, but we played the and after the 4. So we had 1, 2, and a 3 and. Okay, so that's the timing of our little strum there. So let's try that. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, a 3 and 1, 2, a 3 and. Go up to G, 3, 4, 1, 2, a 3 and 1, 2, a 3 and back. Let's go a little bit more. Okay. Now we have a little solo that after the kind of a bass intro there that kind of covers those 2 chords. It kind of goes from an F sharp bass. He has a little lower note. He goes back and forth, and he goes to the G, back and forth a couple times. Then we have this cool little solo by Jorma. We're going to have the 7th fret. Had to jump this up an octave to fit it on this instrument. So we're going to have the 7th fret, the 2nd string. Hold that a little bit. So we had that 7. And then we go to the 3rd string. And we slide 6 to 7. The reason I slid it is because we have a 7 coming up here. We have 7, 8, 10, and that kind of made it where those fingers fit in there better. So we got 7, 2, 3, 4, 1. See how that works? Da-dum, da-dum, dum. 7, 8, 10 on the 2nd. Now I took my pinky here. You can use a different finger if you want. But I went from 10 to 12, quick slide. Then I'm going to come up here to the 14, do a hammer-on pull-off, 14, 15, 14, 12, and then 15, 14 on the 2nd string. So let's look at all that again. We got. And then we're going to go. So that was 12 to 10, second string. And then we're going to do a slide 1 fret, 10 to 11. Okay, so let's look at it all again. We got. Okay, so that one's going to be 7-8-7, 7-6 on the third, slide it back. So we got. And then we'll wait a little bit on this 7 and hit the smaller 7 afterwards. So, and then we get into a little triplet riff. So it's like 1 and a 2 and a. And that's the end of our solo. So let's go up here to this kind of halfway through point. And then we had the triplet 8-7-7. And then 6-4-6, 1 and 2 and that kind of a thing. Okay, so let's go over the whole solo here. We got. Now we're gonna go 7-6, 4-6-4, hammer on pull off. And then 2 to open on the second, pull off, 2 open, and on the 4 on the big string there. So one more time we got. Okay, so that's the whole solo. And then we start the verse. We got the. Okay, so that was twice back and forth for the verse. Now we're going to go to an A chord. We're going to hit the 1, the 2, and the 4. So it's like 1, 2, 4, and then we're going to hit a C, hold it for 2 beats, D, hold it for 2 beats, so it ends up being. And then 1, 2, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. Okay, so after the C, D, we're going to do the 1 and the 2, and the and of the 3 and the 4 and the and. So we got, it's like 1, 2, and 4, and. Okay, and then we're going to have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So let's look at that whole verse. We got 3, 4. Again. A. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. All right, so we get back into that F sharp to G. Second verse. And then go to the A again, and this is the chorus. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2. Now we're gonna go E. So in this, it has the emphasis on the 2 and the 4. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. Then we got F sharp. So you could look at that F sharp there as like kind of 6 of those. And it also has that 1, 2, 3, 4, a little bit more heavy than the original strum of our. So try to kind of incorporate the 2 and the 4 in that, like. Gotta mix it up a little bit. Okay, so when we get into this F sharp and it goes 6 times, let's follow that through. 2, 3, 4. That's the 4th one, 2 more. Up to G. 2 Gs, back. 2 F sharps, back up. Going to A, C to D, feed your head. So we got A and then E, and on the A like that. Okay, so let's go back to the last F sharp and G. We got. Do the A up here, C to D, then we got A, and then feed your head, feed your head. So 2 times on that, and ride the A out. All right, White Rabbit by request from Vincent, or I believe Vincent's wife. Thanks, Vincent's wife, and thanks, Vincent. We will see you guys all soon. Please let me know in the comments where you're watching from and what you'd like to hear next. Thanks a lot.